confidence, no doubt, before he has to go into a very tough game against SK Telecom. So there's going to be a Rek'Sai ban from SKT.
I wonder if they are setting things up for a Gragas, although Bengi hasn't been like the biggest Gragas player this season.
That is very true.
It could just be another Evelyn, too, that they're planning on picking down the line somewhere, you know?
Yep, definitely could be.
Bit easier
Maybe
to play when the Rek'Sai is out of the way.
Take that Alistar first, but
Yeah.
remember, Score is a big Eve player as well. We've seen a number of Evelyn bans against Score this season.
That's true. That's true. Score has had some pretty notable games on that champion. They're going to ban the Annie against Fixer as well. Rai banned, of course, against Mara, and Rai is just kind of a must ban in general, as is the Kalista most of the time on red side. So Bang, although Bang has been able to play more Kalista games than really anybody in the league, not going to get to play it in the first two games at least tonight. Maybe at all if this ends up being the last game. We'll see what SK Telecom's final ban is going to be, and it is the Alistar. So I wonder what they are going to first pick first. Wonder if it will be that Gragas after all.
I think it will be, but this could open up an Echo. Remember, Echo banned last time by KT. Of course, they would have to blind pick the Echo if they pick it in the mid lane. Of course,
maybe they're going to first pick the Echo.
Possibly, probably the Gragas, though, is the intent right here.
Yeah. Gragas banned. Now, Maokai is available, too, which would be a pretty tempting grab for Marin, and not a bad first pick at all. It does leave the Echo open. What do you value more, though? Rumble open as well. I don't think they're going to take the Draven. A little bit of trolling coming in from SKT.
Trolling arrow.
Yeah, I think the Rumble's a good pick, too.
Yeah, SKT really has done well with that Rumble. Marin's played it so much this season, and SKT is able to punish so hard in the early game, but do they go with the Eve? Again, okay, that's going to be the priority, just because that's one of Score's main champions as well.
Yeah, it is a takeaway from Score. It's a champion that we obviously have seen Bengi perform well on. Now, KT rather, they do have the option to take the Sivern. I think they better grab it in round one.
Well, someday, thinking on your screen right now.
Maokai Sivir.
Coach is behind him with the notebook. So do you take the Nautilus away from Wolf? Fixer didn't look very comfortable on that Janna last game. Found himself caught out of position a few times and chunked down to start these team fights. But the Echo's still available. And someday obviously could be a very big Echo player. I don't know if Edge plays the champion or not. So a big flex pick could come in from KT if they want it.
Well, Blanc's still available, even though she did get a little bit nerfed here in 5.11. They're just going to go with the Nautilus Sivir, so prioritizing that bot lane. And, you know, Arrow on Sivir obviously has been such a huge part of KT's success. Why not go ahead and grab it in the first round? You know SKT will take it if you don't. So I would imagine it's going to be Corki for the AD carry, but SKT, what else are they going to grab? They can still take the Rumble. They can still wait for that mid laner. Echo's still available, as is Azir, as are a lot of strong picks for mid lane.
Yeah, you take Rumble Echo now, though, and you completely telegraph your lanes. So if that's a risk that SK Telecom wants to take, that's one thing. But KT, with the engage that they have already, that Janna may prove more useful.
Yeah, I think the Janna is definitely a pretty safe pick. You don't give away a whole lot. The only thing you give away is that, hey, we're going to stop your hard engage. That's about it.
Also, there is synergy with the Echo, with the Janna, because basically you can go in with Echo, and Janna can sit there in Monsoon while you hop back via Chrono Break, kind of like a Zed in-out with the Death Mark, which we used to see Najin use a lot with the Janna-Zed combination. So there's some pretty good synergy there, I think, between those champions, just to keep Echo topped off and so you can re-engage once the fight continues.
A mid Tristan is not actually a possibility, is it?
No.
Wouldn't think so. Maybe KT saying, all right, we know you're going to go for that Tristana. Perhaps. Perhaps.
Possible. Bang has been playing. So Bang right now is #1 and #2 in Korean solo queue.
Wow.
And he has been spamming Tristana. So they definitely know that's a possibility. That is a Riven.
Riven and Lee Sin.
Now, technically, we don't know where that Riven is going yet. It could be mid. It could be top. I don't know if Edge plays it.
True. What would you think about a Lucian here as opposed to the Tristana? So I wonder if we're going to maybe see the new Jace with this Corki. That wouldn't be a bad comp, would it?
No, not at all.
Yeah, I think you could use Evelyn for disengage.
Good poke, yeah.
Yeah.
Evelyn isn't ideal for disengage, but it's not the worst either.
Yeah. We've seen it work. We haven't seen it work really well in a poke comp, but we've seen it work.
But do you go with a blind pick Jace is the question. If you're Coco, you feel comfortable, you can pull that off.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
No, not again. Oh, no. He's doing it again. Master Yi returns to the mid lane for Faker. Well, welcome to Champions Edge. Really trial by fire here. He has to play against Faker's Master Yi. Okay.
I mean, in the last comp, I could sort of understand it with the Annie and the Morgana. They would have that lockdown.
Yeah, they don't have the pick potential that they did with that.
No, they don't. They have some good poke with Corki and Rumble, but you're going to have to land a lot of skill shots in order to let Faker's Yi clean up here.
What in the world do you take for Edge now? You'd imagine that Riven is going to top, but I don't know. The train's completely off the rails at this point, man.
It definitely is. Well, they have the Riven. Now, we've seen Riven, I know the Fizz, actually, the response. Interesting.
Huh.
Well, though, it will not surprise you that I know nothing about the Fizz Master Yi mid matchup.
I thought you were a good analyst. Faking it the whole time, huh?
Well, so the Riven pick in the top lane, every time we've seen Riven this season, it has been against a Rumble.
Yeah.
That includes the games that Smeth has played and the game that Someday has played. So it is becoming a popular counter pick in terms of the Riven play, and it really does punish, put a lot of kill pressure in that top side. And you combine that with a Lee Sin, and Marin's going to have to be super careful about how he plays the lane because that 2v2 is deadly.
Oh, man. This is going to be a bit nuts. SK Telecom, they want to make it entertaining, if nothing else. Faker taking the Master Yi yet again. They beat CJ Entis in the game 2 with Faker on Master Yi, but like we mentioned, that was a composition with a lot more pick potential. This time, it's going to rely on, I don't know what it's going to rely on, but it's going to rely on Faker to get a lot of kills with Master Yi.
And we have to talk about how that game started, because when CJ picked the Urgot, they had a Rek'Sai, they had a Morgana, they had an Annie, they had all these champions collapsing on the mid lane to kill the Urgot early and get me rolling. They just don't have that same kind of crowd control with this composition.
Against a Fizz, it's going to be so tough, too, with Playful Trickster to get that consistent damage done. Everything on the line now. Can SKT close it out with a stylish 2-0, or will we see a tie series? Time to get in the game and find out. All right, well, here we go again. Welcome to Summoner's Rift. KT Rolster versus SK Telecom. And Faker once again with this Master Yi in the mid lane. Gotta win with it once, but it's going to be quite a bit more difficult this time around.
Yeah, he has no hard CC on his team.
He is going to have to go full berserker this time.
I mean,
not talking about the Greaves.
Well, he might go for the Greaves too. He can split push is the thing he can do.
Yeah.
But Riven is going to be there to split push also, although Faker will have the advantage of an Ignite, and Edge may be able to deal with him in that way too, just because the Playful Trickster is going to be able to dodge the Alpha Strike. I'm just not exactly sure. This composition, last time he played it, that composition relied on the execution of Marin and Wolf's Annie. This time, this composition, I mean, it has no synergy.
You know,
there's nothing that you can do. There's no setup that I can imagine besides just poke and let hit Equalizer, hit some rockets, get everybody low enough that Faker just ults in and kills everybody. That's it. That's what you got.
I recall a game from last season where Wolf had an amazing roaming pick game on Janna. Okay. Maybe he's going to bring this one back again, right?
SK Telecom would be very confident if they felt they could bank on that. Wolf going to run into Arrow in the brush, take one auto. But they're going to get the 2v2.
Indeed they will. I'm just curious about this mid lane, man. I just really Really want to see what you do. Now, if you Alpha Strike a Fizz and he playful Tricksters immediately, does it deny some of the damage?
Yes, that should be the way it works.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh Faker already hammering edge.
Yeah,
He wants to round that edge.
Yeah, Faker gets the level 2 quickly this game, so
Yep.
he's going to have a bit of that advantage. Edge has tons of pots, though, so he's going to be all right. Someday did take the Gromp by himself, the Gromp XP, and then move in to help score on the blue buff, so he's going to hit level 2. Marin already there as well, and they will meet up down on the bottom side. So all eyes on Faker right now. What can he do with this Master Yi for his second professional Master Yi mid-game of all time?
We're actually saying that. It actually is happening. It's like the most Master Yi we've seen in years.
Well, Master Yi is a great janitor. He loves to clean up those team fights, right? He can clean up a big old mess and just keep on resetting. But the issue is that you as a Master Yi, you are reliant on the rest of your team to make the initial play so you can clean up. It's not a very proactive champion.
I think every champion is a proactive champion when Faker plays it. See if he can make that happen this time around. Bengi getting a little bit low with the Krug, so he is going to go back and buy Faker already with a CS lead in the middle, just looking at that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you expect this early on. Fizz generally has a hard time in laning phase, except against very specific matchups where he can abuse them. And considering he took so much damage early on, he also has a flask, not a combat item early. Yeah. So he's going to take a little bit of farming and a little bit of items before he can actually hit some sort of form right here. Faker coming back into lane with some wards and a longsword.
Yeah, you can see Faker's really trying to take advantage of the fact that Edge is prioritizing just kind of sustain in lane, and so he's going to try to make him use it up as fast as he can.
It's also true that with Yi, you don't have a lot of control over the wave if you use that Alpha Strike. So yeah, you have to have good vision. And Bengi just getting deep wards in right now. You can see the pink starting to appear around that mid lane. They want to get that vision to help out. Wolf went down and dropped his pink ward at a choke, and they have to be worried because Score and Edge with this Lee Sin Fizz combo could be quite deadly.
Yeah, KT has a really good way to get in the back lines onto Bang. Faker waiting until that playful trickster's done. Look at all that damage. Edge trying to bait him a little bit since Score is close by, so Faker will have to pull back and meditate a bit.
Still, that sustain that the Yi has, quite powerful, and with Score showing in mid, that does give Bengi even more of an opportunity just to hunt down. They're going to dive Someday.
Yeah, dive on the Someday. Someday with no way to really get out. And Marin, barely makes it. First blood going to Bengi. That was very close, but SKT pushing the limits and coming out on top.
Wow, so flash used there by Marin, not used by Someday, interestingly. If he had used that flash, I think maybe he could have done something a little bit more. In terms of that dive, Marin goes back for the arm guard. Double Doran's Blade for Someday, but shutting down that Rumble Snowball early. And you can see Marin has that CS lead as well. So Score hasn't been able to get down there to really make a play and get this Riven going.
Yeah. I think you just picked up a Null Magic Mantle. I always almost forget the name of that item. Audience thinks it's hilarious. Going to go for that Hex Drinker early on, and that'll certainly help in the Fizz lane as well, too. Fiendish Codex picked up by Edge, so he's got that little bit of CDR and finally a little bit of punch to those attacks.
Yeah, Someday here, though, really struggling in a lane that he did just fine with earlier. Faker gets fished.
I told you it was going to happen. Here comes the roaming John. Exhaust use. Fixer coming to support the lane, though. Wolf not quite able to get that whirlwind off. Score was there as well, too.
Bit bold for Edge. Remember, he just doesn't have these wards around the mid lane, and he certainly didn't have a ward to make that play when the Janna was MIA.
Faker's going to go in, man. Ignite has not been used yet. Faker gets ulted by Fixer, though. Got to be careful there. Ignite used.
Knew the possibility existed, though, that Fixer could still be there on that side of the river, and you know what? He has to flash, but doesn't actually die. There's just no fish, no follow-up damage, even after the Ignite is used by Fixer to take him down. So playing with fire a little bit, but he doesn't get punished for it.
Yep. Well, it wouldn't be a Faker game if he's not pushed up in lane and risking death every moment. He likes to live on the edge.
He does. He's living on the edge this game, just barely.
If he was in that XXX movie, the U.S. government would have recruited him instead of Vin Diesel. I think the movie might have been more entertaining that way. I don't know. I like Vin Diesel, though. Oh, wow. Bengi just walks up and smites it.
Can't see it coming, and that'll be a denial from Edge. One more thing going a little bit wrong in this lane score. And Bengi on your screen right now. The battle of smites. Score isn't very good at smiting, though. That's what his teammates say.
Well, proving it. His teammates are definitely going to say it even more now.
Well, he didn't want to smite that one, Noah. He wanted to give it to he wanted to give it to Edge.
Could have smote it early, you know, take it a little bit faster.
Here we go.
The dive onto Edge. Score is right there, though. I don't know if this is going to work out. Oh, Bengi in big trouble. Faker trying to do some damage. Bengi gets taken out by Edge. Oh, Faker kicked into the Raptor bit. He's going to Alpha Strike right back over and pop the Ignite. Faker with the kill onto Edge. Teleport coming down. Marin protecting him, and someday cancels that TP. Doesn't come up from the bottom lane.
So right there, you see Edge turn it around a little bit. They do trade jungler for jungler. Both mid laners getting a kill. And the attempt to kick him back over the wall to keep that next Alpha Strike from going down wasn't as successful as perhaps Score would have liked. But they will have a TP advantage in a little bit. Bang and Wolf getting aggressive in that top side.
Yeah, the 2v2 happening here. Arrow pops that ult a little bit low. Bang with the Janna shield trying to survive. Wolf uses the ult. Bang comes back in again. He had to flash. Oh, here comes Marin. They may be able to dive this. Score coming up as well, too. Bengi on the move as well.
No, they know what's
Gets
up.
spotted, yeah. I think
know
KT
what's
can
up.
just
They're
pull
pulling back right now. They see Evelyn with the pink ward, so they may just have to trade turret for turret. But that's a big commitment at the top side. 4 people up on that top tower, and there's no more wave. Arrow has the better wave clear, so actually SKT overcommitted to this just a little bit. They're going to lose a tower.
Well, Faker's going to get the one in mid, it looks like, so they will still be able to trade turret for turret, just not in the way that they may have thought they would have.
All right, so this is actually definitely better for SKT based on that last auto attack.
Oh, Edge, no turret to protect him, and Faker just goes in. Doesn't have the Ignite, though, so doesn't want to commit too hard to that one.
So really coming up with that tower advantage because they got the mid lane. Edge just went back, had to go back at the wrong time, and that gave Faker a free lane. And this Master Yi can clear the way pretty darn quick. And once he gets on those turrets, everybody knows who's played against the Master Yi in solo queue that the split push or just this tower pressure can get overwhelming at a very rapid rate. So SKT has a big power spike with this Corki. If they can set up a 4-1 split, now that Faker's Master Yi is a little bit ahead and he can actually get into lane and start causing some more pressure on the turrets, well, Corki kind of holds it down. They could have a very powerful mid game.
Yeah, true enough. Bang and Wolf now down in the bottom lane. Now at some point too, does Faker get to a state where he hasn't gotten far enough ahead?
There's not really enough tankiness on the KT side is the thing. Like,
I suppose.
There's not really... Faker's going to be able to 1v1 anybody if he gets...
Oh boy. The dive. Incoming. Edge looking for an opportunity to drop that ult. Not finding it though.
Yeah. If Faker is always going to be confident in 1v1ing unless he's very far behind in this game. So that presents a bit of a problem for KT because they don't have that big tank to really lock him down. The crowd control just isn't there for this Master Yi. I mean, they've got some hard CC on Fixer, but that's about it. Just a very short stun on Riven. Kick, of course, onto Score. And the knock-up, if you can hit the fish from Edge. But Faker's also going to be moving so fast that it's going to find some of this stuff very easy to dodge.
Well, so far so good. Picking up 1 kill already. little bit of money to be spent by KT here. Looks like they're getting an opportunity to do that. No one's been able to really go after the dragon just yet either. Faker just kind of letting that mid lane freeze too so he can farm safely.
Yeah, Faker with the Hexdrinker first too isn't really equipped to start split pushing yet. He has to get that Blade of the Ruin King, because if he gets into a side lane, he's going to be against Riven or against Sivir.
Yeah.
And so he just has to make sure in terms of itemization that he's really in a place to do that. Obviously, having him against Someday right now would be great, but not going to happen.
Oh, Edge going in on Faker. There's the ult from Bengi as well. Teleport coming in for KT, though. Faker gets caught with the fish. Oh, nice dredge line. Faker trying to go. Oh, Score kicked him out. Ult, though, comes in, and Edge has just enough burn to finish him off.
Nice
double kill for that, and now he's going to get nearly a triple. Arrow picking that one up, though. And they'll get the mid lane turret. Nice fight by KT.
Now they had the TP advantage and they used it so well there. Fixer just landing the CC. Equalizer has to go down to prevent the loss of a turret, but Marin
gave away his position though.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get out. So they can't take two towers right there. Very crucial for SKT. Now KT not that far into the lead as a result of those kills, but that was a very solid play into the mid lane where they got a tower and the necessary carnage to put themselves into the lead.
Well, now we've got a situation, too, where Edge has 3 kills, and this Fizz is going to start to be pretty scary.
Yeah. Yes, he is, and especially against somebody like Marin, who doesn't have MR. Let's take a look at how this went down. So Bengi's here. Edge goes in. Playful Tricksters. But look how fast this comes in. Great hook by Faker. Not so great kick by Score, but he does manage to just barely go down in the end. And what a great double kill with the Playful Trickster right there as all 5 members of KT just pile onto the mid lane.
And meanwhile, Bengi was able to just solo Dragon, so SK Telecom, just like last game, losing a kill or 2, but responding with a Dragon.
And a blue buff.
And a blue buff, yeah.
So second blue buff denial this game, so.
Well, they lose a turret. That is all 3 outers down now for SKT, so that is certainly a point of concern.
Bang has his Trinity Force though, so.
He can't quite kill the turret. He's got to wait for that next wave. And
yeah, he'll get it though on the next wave.
They've got so many wards in the bottom jungle that Bang's perfectly safe.
Yeah, 100%. He's got Bengi there too.
Yeah.
Great play. And that's the thing. We see Bengi start off, try and turn that around. But instead of just committing to it, once he sees everything falling in that mid lane, he'll just go and take the dragon instead. Take what advantage he can. Get those deep wards in so they can secure that turret. And that leaves us with only, wow, Bengi has to flash.
Yeah, good flash there. I mean, there was no other way to get out of that without dying, so you have to burn the summoner spell. Faker getting closer to that blade, but still doesn't have it quite yet. Edge not only has more kills, but he's caught up in CS in a big way.
I'm not sure this Master Yi's going to work this game, Noah. I mean, KT is a great team, and they certainly can outplay on nearly any composition, but this is a really difficult situation.
Oh, Edge going in. A lot of KT members right there. Faker pops that Alpha Strike to try to get out of the fish. He backs away with the Highlander. Bang gets grabbed by the dredge line. Able to do a lot of damage, though. And SKT, Faker looking for those resets. Equalizer slowing people down, and here we go. Bang picks up the kill. Marin doing a lot of damage to the Flame Spitter. And now Faker comes in with the Alpha Strike. There's one, but the kill goes to Bang. Triple kill for him. Arrow getting very, very low. Quadra kill for Bang. But Edge way too far away. They're looking for him, but no pentakill for Bang here.
So the Corki power spike, he just got that Trinity Force.
Yeah.
And you can see how much damage he's doing because Arrow doesn't even have that Infinity Edge at this point in time. They're just not equipped to go into this situation at this juncture. You're fighting in the part where, of course, this Rumble is going to be so strong naturally as well, especially considering the CS advantage that Marin's managed to get. And now that is nearly a 4K gold lead for SKT. And we were talking about it, but that's where the Yi pick really comes in. That's the way you get ahead with this composition is if you use the Corki AoE or the Corki rockets to poke somebody down and then finish up with the Master Yi afterwards.
Yeah, kind of ended up being the opposite that fight, but the principles are still the same. You know, one of them gets them low for the other, right? In that fight, Faker was getting everybody low health, and Bang got the finishing blows. Could easily go the other way around later in the game. And Faker does have that Blade of the Ruin King now. So here's where I would imagine the split pushing, that sounds disgusting. Split pushing begins, and Faker is kind of heading towards that top lane.
Wow, Arrow just gets his Infinity Edge too, so I wonder how much money he was sitting on right there, and if he could have had a better item for that fight.
That's a good question. Bang looking very good after that fight too. Gets the Quadra, and then he gets the Sorcerer's Shoes and also the Cutlass as well. Yep, here comes the split push.
Here it comes, as expected. So, is Someday going to be able to effectively deal with this? At least they're the same level.
Well, Someday not having a big item quite yet, just the Brutalizer and the Hex Drinker, really. So
there's been a lot of action, but this game's still pretty early.
Yeah, only 18 minutes in.
I'm just going to go out there and take some CS while he can. Did have some friends on the bottom side of the map to help him out right there. And Edge actually, he's going for the Zhonya's second. So really prioritizing that just armor to deal with Faker. But I'm not sure how much help that's going to be. There's a lot of magic damage coming in from SKT as well.
Yeah, it really feels like SK Telecom has that momentum now. And how far are they going to be able to actually push it? SKT as well has been very good about having wards where they needed to have wards, and they're on a mission to do just that again.
Yeah, let's try and take out, clear some vision right there. KT manages to find the pink ward right as it's placed, but they betray their position just a tad.
Yeah. And now look at Bang going into the bottom jungle, putting down some of his own wards as well, letting Marin push up that lane.
Yeah, it looks like they're really just trying to pressure all three lanes simultaneously and use the siege that they have with the Trinity Force Corki as best they can right now.
Yeah, taking a lot of KT's jungle in the process as well.
I guess Someday's going to have to deal with this Master Yi.
Well, good luck.
Yeah, he just doesn't have a lot of sustain yet. No real lifesteal besides what he's got on the Doran's Blades. And the Blade of the Ruin King, over time, Faker may be able to grind down Someday's Riven, but he doesn't have...
Oh, Bengi waiting for it. Oh, didn't quite get it with the smite that time.
Yeah, Score came in there with the Resonating Strike spike finisher, so Bengi didn't have a chance to smite it away.
Well, Dragon in 10 seconds, so now SK Telecom will see if they group up for that. They have the only Dragon taken so far in the game. Might be able to add a second one on here. Yep, they're all getting ready for it. And KT, I don't believe, has the timer for that, so it should be, yeah, because they never saw Bengi take it. Well, so SK Telecom with an easy Dragon.
You could always see the Dragon being taken because...
Oh, yeah, that's true. You can see the buff, right?
Yeah, the buff come up. So you should have, within a second or two, the rough timer of it. But in any case, KT really not in a position to fight right now. They don't want to TP in with this Riven. I think you absolutely give that one up at this stage. You know you're behind, and you're hoping that maybe later on you can make a pick with this Sivir that will get you back into this game. And you're also going to be, I suppose, somewhat confident as Corki's damage starts to taper off later that maybe you can do something here.
Yeah. Well, Wolf, able to clear out a decent amount of wards here. And SKT just on a campaign to, like we mentioned, keep the lanes pushed and keep the vision on their side. And now they can start to pressure that Baron a little bit too.
Yes, that's a good point. They can do the Baron pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Especially when the second blade completes onto Corki.
It's going to be a while before that happens right now. Bang not really sitting on any gold to speak of. To
He bought it.
Oh, he just bought it. Oh, never mind. All right, well, that's why.
Yes, that is why. Good timing from Bang. Just right as that blade was available, goes back and picks it up.
Yeah, and right as the opportunity to pressure Baron appeared too.
So here we go. Marin's still on the split push. Someday very much lagging behind. He'd love a Tiamat right now, but so he could actually push out just a little bit faster and start to move this ward line backwards from SKT within his own jungle. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, Someday just does not want to fight Faker right now. Can't blame him.
Well, there's also so many people on the top side of the map. He's just afraid because he doesn't have any vision.
Yeah.
All he has is a ward and tri-brush, and he knows how fast people can appear. Now, KT, they still have the Sivir to make the picks. They still have the ability to collapse on someone very, very quickly. And they have to use that advantage right now or as soon as possible so that they can actually just get back into this one. And SK Telecom doesn't really have a good way to disengage. So, I mean, between the Lee Sin and the Sivir, you'd think there'd be some work to be done, but I guess it's going to be Bang down in this bottom lane. Someday's just not confident in his ability to deal with Marin's Rumble.
It just seems like it's going to be so hard for KT to find those fights, though, you know?
Well, that's what you have the Sivir for, and you have the mobility over a wall, the kick of Lee Sin. It's not going to be that hard. It's not like Rumble can run particularly quickly.
Which you'd think, being that little dude was making a super robot, you'd think he would have made it a little bit quicker. I think I would have.
Well, you had to put more guns in it, though, and flamethrowers and flamethrower fuel and things like that. Sometimes
that does
you just
slow it down.
You don't have enough room to put bigger leg motors in.
He follows the mech warrior principles of mech building, I guess.
Now, the real question is, why didn't you just put wheels on the damn thing?
That's true. Would have been faster.
I mean, let's be real. You don't really need something that, with legs in Summoner's Rift, everything is like a nicely graded ramp. It's all very flat.
Maybe he's worried about like the engine getting water in it if he goes through the river.
Well, I think he's worried
Checkmate.
about that, whether he has wheels or not, Doa.
Yeah, but I mean, he could have like waterproof legs.
Yeah, rubber is waterproof. What's your point?
I mean, is the whole bottom side waterproof, though?
You could definitely make cars like that, yes. And what about Piltover Customs Blitzcrank? He doesn't seem to do too badly.
I don't know. We don't see Blitzcrank anymore, do we? think he finally got in the river too much.
Must be it.
Yep.
He just rusted out right through the bottom.
True enough. That's why they have that skin.
Rusty Blitzcrank.
Yep.
That one doesn't have wheels, though.
I know. Wouldn't have helped him anyway.
So you admit that with legs, he would also get rusty.
I suppose. Who knows? Hey, sorry, I'm trying to pay attention to this game right now.
No, you're not.
I don't have time to talk about these asides with you. I'm trying to, like, think a lot about the strategy and the tactics and things people are doing.
Oh, that's a new approach to your casting, though. I'm impressed.
Trying to change things up a little bit.
Oh, Bengi.
Oh, Bengi does get a little bit caught here. Uses that chilling smite onto Someday. Edge taking a lot of damage. Has the playful trickster over the wall. Equalizer drop down. Faker catching up. Arrow pops that ultimate. Oh, Bang's going to Valkyrie forward, actually. Oh, they got to be careful. They could turn on to Bang here. Yeah, Bang backing away. A lot of damage coming in, though, for SK Telecom. There's a lot of pressure. Could that be a Baron, maybe?
Man. Everyone on KT is just so squishy that I have to say I underestimated the amount of damage that Bang was going to be doing against this composition with the Corki, because there's no, I mean, if we look at score right now, he's building a Randuin's. He probably should be getting an Aegis first right here just to prevent them from getting poked out like that, because Bang by himself just chased off like 5 of them.
It's pretty good.
Walking right in front of his team, and there was no equalizer, and they couldn't turn back because they were already all at half health. And the threat of Faker just coming in and alpha striking absolutely everyone was ridiculous.
When are they going to turn on this Baron? It's got to be soon. Trying to go into the jungle to get a little bit more vision down.
Faker is building a Randuin's now.
Yeah, man, you got to get in and stay tanky while you take people apart.
I mean, if he gets in with an Alpha Strike and he hits with the Randuin's active, everyone's going to be slowed so that Bang is just able to annihilate them with rockets.
Yep. Dragon is up. SK Telecom could go for that as well. They've gotten the first 2 already this game. Dragons haven't been taken quite as fast.
I noticed Wolf has a Zeke's Herald too. That is so good with the 2 Blades of the Ruined King, because the life steal tanking from SK Telecom against the limited CC from KT is going to be very effective.
Wow. Easy Dragon taken by SK Telecom, and now they've got a little movement burst as well, too. Yeah, SKT just kind of slowly grinding to a probable win here.
I can't believe they're doing this.
They've been able to put the pressure on, man. And
They
Edge has gotten a little bit of a, a little bit of an edge, I guess, for lack of a better term. But the rest of KT hasn't been able to really work with that to find picks, to win team fights, nothing like that.
I'm just surprised that KT and especially Score focused so much on the mid lane this game when I think that getting Someday ahead would have been more effective in terms of being able to close. Here we go.
Several, but Wolf just pops a whirlwind, and that's really all he needs to do. Oh, boy, here we go. Score gets caught. Nice ult from Bengi. Faker gets kicked away. He's just going to walk right back in, though. Highlander makes you pretty fast. Exhaust onto Arrow as Bang starts to do damage down to Fizz. Edge actually got taken out. Now Faker getting those resets. There goes Arrow. And Faker's chasing Score down. Double kill, meanwhile, for Marin. Alpha strike. There goes Score. Faker, a lot of kills there. And now they think they can go probably right onto Baron after Someday gets taken down by Marin. Marin just chasing him. Flash still available for Someday. Not even going to bother to use it, though. Nice knockup by Wolf, slowing him down and harpoon over the wall. Wow. Ace.
Wolf just there with the tornado on the other side, gets the knockup so Marin can stay in range for those harpoons.
See, it's the roaming aggressive pick, Jana. It's back.
I see. I see that.
Yep. And let's watch that fight again.
Well, what happened to Edge on the side? He didn't have the playful trickster anymore. Gets the ult onto Bang. There it is. Flashes forward. Dies in the end. Now, how does Bang die?
Marin just roasted Edge. I don't know how Bang died.
I think he must have just died to Ignite.
Just a burn, yeah.
So,
yep. Faker getting a bunch of kills, too. 3-1 and 4 now, and that Master Yi finishes his Randuins, and he has enough to pick up a pickaxe besides that.
Going for that Last Whisper next, perhaps.
Yep.
Well,
that's right. And the Last Whisper we're going to be hearing in solo queue is mid or feed. For everyone that wants to play Master Yi on Korea
it's
now.
not even good, is the thing. Like,
don't tell solo queue that, man. Just when I thought it was going to be safe again. Nope.
It works as part of this cleanup, and Bang is doing so much damage and his rocket accuracy is so high, especially with the equalizer as well to chunk people down, that he can clean it up. But it's still, you look at this pick and it's just so risky and it's so binary and predictable.
Oh, here we go. Whoa, look at that equalizer. Goodbye, Arrow. Marin picks up a first kill. Edge chilling smite onto him. Bengi chasing him down. Wolf helps pick up a kill onto Fixer. Support versus support. Faker, meanwhile, is like, they don't even need me now.
He's doing Master Yi things.
That's right.
Split pushing. Killing turrets extremely quickly with that build.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've reached the point in the game where it's looking very unlikely that KT is going to be able to come back on this one. And they're probably just going to walk in casually and take an inhibitor turret, maybe even the inhibitor as well.
Yep, just moving forward. Marin just going to zone people out with the Flame Spitter.
I don't know if that was the greatest idea to come back on that one someday.
Well, Faker was actually just tanking out that turret, waiting for his team to come up right there. Has a lot of HP.
Mid inhibitor goes down during all that. They're going to get top as well. And man, SK Telecom always able to take so much off of so little yet again.
It's just incredible how they can.
Yeah. Little pick and they end up with 2 inhibitors out of it.
I mean, just their setup in these games where they get the quirky rockets with the Yi. They play around these wacky comps so perfectly.
It makes them so terrifying, too, because when you play against these guys, you have no idea what they're going to do. They have so many comps. Their strategies are so versatile. They make stuff like this work.
Right, and it's just one of those things where you look at this composition and you say, well, that was really the only way they could make it work was around the poke from Corki and Rumble.
Yeah.
And it seems so unlikely that they're actually going to be able to execute that, but then they do.
You'd think, too, that Master Yi would be a champion that you'd be getting wins against like Spenu and IM with. But no, they got to win against CJ, and now they're going to get a win against KT with this Master Yi pick.
Yeah, barring some sort of total meltdown here from SK Telecom, which would be very uncharacteristic of them this season, or
yeah, I'd be pretty surprised.
In the last several months. Now they're just going to do a 2-man Baron with double lifesteal tanking.
Why not? I don't know if they can quite do this, though. Yeah, they're going to bring in the rest. They're going to get the Baron easily, and that is their second of the game, I believe. And then they can just walk down and take the 4th dragon, too. Total domination from SK Telecom in game number 2 here.
And especially after how competitive this reminds me so much of the last game, Doa, or the last series that SKT played against CJ.
Yeah.
At the beginning of that one, it was very competitive. It really wasn't very back and forth. You know, CJ looked like they were ahead, like they may have been able to take that game. Then Faker goes nuts on Victor and turns the game around, just like last time. KT sticking in there early, looking pretty good, and then Faker goes nuts. And then the second game, it's a Master Yi comp. It's total domination. And both KT and CJ have been unable to deal with this.
That's because SKT doesn't just beat you, they break you. That's what happens. They broke CJ. Now the Master Yi pain train continues as KT is down 2 inhibitors, possibly 3 pretty soon as a Baron buff. SK Telecom comes in, equalizer drop bank. He gets a great ult as well too. Ult on the bank from Nautilus. Edge comes in to try to find a kill. Zonia's, he's going to go down immediately after that ends. Meanwhile, Faker grabs a double kill as well. Edge does go down. Fixer trying to get away, gets roasted. There's a reset. Arrow's still alive. Triple kill for Faker on that Master Yi, and that is it. Oh, Faker goes in, picks up the kill for the Quadra. And on that note, Faker dies, gets the Quadra kill, and SK Telecom gets a 2-0 over KT. GG.
Unbelievable.
Really. Entertaining, but unbelievable.
It's incredibly entertaining, and it's very impressive that they're able to do this. You look at the narrow timing windows and the very few ways they have to win, yet they pull it off with such grace.
How is this team not going to lose this season? How is this team not going to be the champions again?
Well, it's a long season. We got a lot of time left, and we'll see if other teams can step it up. Certainly,
I guess, but
as SK Telecom continues their best-of-3 win streak to 15 consecutive.
It's amazing.
It is looking very hard to stop them.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy, too, because you go back and you think about their perfect season. They did have a season where they didn't lose a single game. That was best of 2s, though. They're playing more games between the last round of this season